I began franchising at the age of 66. The same business I sold for $2 million was sold again yesterday for $240 million. I didn't see a dime of it. Harlan Sanders, better known as Colonel Sanders, was born on September 9, 1890, on a modest farm in Indiana. Life hit hard early on. His father passed away when Sanders was just 5, leaving his mother to juggle odd jobs like sewing and working in a canning factory to keep the family afloat. This forced young Harlan to look after his younger siblings, and by the age of 7, he had started cooking to help at home. At 10, Sanders got his first job on a farm, but was quickly fired for spending too much time with the animals instead of working. His mother, furious, told him he was useless and couldn't even be counted on to help. That moment stuck with him. He vowed to prove her wrong. Unfortunately, things got worse. His mother remarried a man who was openly abusive towards Sanders and his siblings. At just 12 years old, Sanders left home to make his own way. He worked on another farm, went to school, and picked up extra jobs in the evenings. But school, especially algebra, wasn't for him. He dropped out just weeks into the 7th grade. Over the years, Sanders tried everything: streetcar conductor, insurance salesman, tire seller, steamboat operator, midwife, secretary, carriage painter, and even a brief stint in the military, serving in Cuba at age 15. He wasn't there long, likely discharged for being underage. By 18, Sanders got married and started a family. To support them, he enrolled in a law course by mail, but his legal career ended when he got into a courtroom fight with a client. His reputation shattered. He took a railroad job, but when he lost that too, his wife left him, taking the children and even giving away their furniture. Devastated, Sanders initially planned to kidnap his kids, but a conversation with his father-in-law changed his mind, and he eventually reconciled with his wife. Sadly, they would later divorce in 1947 after losing a son, a heartbreak neither of them could recover from. The early chapters of Sanders' life were filled with failures, setbacks, and heartbreak. But everything began to change in his 40s. Sanders was running a gas station in Kentucky for Shell and started cooking simple meals for customers in the back room: ham, string beans, biscuits, but not fried chicken. It took too long to make. Deep frying made it dry and uneven. Then came the breakthrough: pressure cookers, which were becoming more popular at the time. Though typically used for vegetables, Sanders experimented and found a method to fry chicken quickly, just 8 or 9 minutes, without losing flavor. He combined that with a special seasoning blend, 11 secret herbs and spices. It was a hit. To boost business, Sanders painted advertisements on barns. One local rival, Matt Stewart, began painting over them. Sanders warned him to stop, or else. When Stewart kept at it, Sanders and 2 colleagues paid him a visit. Stewart opened fire, killing one of Sanders' associates. Sanders returned fire and hit Stewart in the shoulder. Though arrested, Sanders didn't serve time. It was ruled self-defense. Stewart, however, went to prison. With Stewart out of the picture, Sanders' gas station thrived. His fried chicken became so popular that in 1935, Kentucky's governor awarded him the honorary title of Colonel. Embracing the new identity, Sanders became known simply as the Colonel. Success followed, until it didn't. In 1939, his restaurant burned down. Then came World War II, drying up tourism. He rebuilt, but in the 1950s, an interstate highway diverted traffic away from his location. Sales tanked. At 65, Sanders sold his business at a loss, living off a $105 monthly Social Security check. But retirement wasn't on his mind. If I hadn't been 66 years old and had a $105 check coming in each month, he said, I don't know what I would have done, but giving up wasn't an option. Instead, he pivoted. Sanders began franchising. With a pressure cooker and a bag of his seasoning, he drove across the country in a 1946 Ford, visiting restaurants. If the staff liked his chicken, he'd stay and cook for their customers, hoping the owners would sign on. He was rejected 1,009 times before finally landing his first franchise deal in 1952 with Pete Harmon in Utah. Sales at Harmon's restaurant tripled, and the phrase "finger-licking good" was born. By 1963, Sanders had over 600 KFC franchises. That number jumped to 900 within a few years, stretching into Canada, the UK, and Japan. Sanders, finally, had made it. But the story didn't end there. In 1964, a young entrepreneur named John Brown offered to buy KFC. Sanders initially refused. He loved his business like a child. Brown upped the offer to $2 million, promised not to touch the recipe, and asked Sanders to remain the face of the brand. Sanders agreed. He became a millionaire at 73, but never truly stepped away from the business. He loved being part of the brand, appearing in ads and traveling the world in his white suit.